What it do, citizens of P-Town? You know what this is. This is the 2024 Letterboxd Wrapped. Now, if you are familiar, if you've been on Letterboxd for a while, or with what most people are familiar with, the Spotify Wrapped, the Letterboxd Wrapped is essentially the same thing, where Letterboxd personalizes your stats for the year, puts together what you watch, trends, data, and all that. So I'm just going to be reacting to mine from 2024. Yeah, so this is everything that I watched in 2024. And let's go ahead and take a look at some of the numbers. So let's just get right into it. I had 177 films logged, average of 14 and a half per month, with an average of 3 to 4 per week, with a particular trend of Wednesday watches and Tuesday watches. Okay. 300 hours watched. Let's break down a few things right here. 177 movies. Okay, in short, I think that number's pretty good. That's pretty good. My personal goal is 100 first time watches every single year, and I think it'll show what my number is. But 177 for a 100 movie goal, I think that's pretty good. Like, even in taking in rewatches, I think that's pretty good. I'm not gonna aim to go to 200 or higher because I do have other interests, but for my motivation and passion to discover movies, I think 177 is a good number without impeding on my many other interests. So I think this is pretty good. Wednesdays is not a surprise as far as my most watched day. 38 movies on Wednesdays. That's typically when I have my days off. Tuesdays, I expect it to be the second most at 31 films because Tuesdays is the discount Tuesdays at my theater. So that's the best time to watch movies. All right, so milestones. So the first movie I watched in 2024 was Aquaman and the Last Kingdom. Not the strongest start, but decent time. And then diary milestones, we have the 50th movie watched. Sunset Boulevard, great movie. The 100th was The Last Temptation of Christ, Martin Scorsese. 150th was Black Dog. And then the most recent film that I watched that year, I guess the last movie that I watched in 2024, was Nosferatu, unsurprisingly. I typically don't rewatch a movie multiple times in the same year, so this is what I expected. If you've been following the channel and all my movie stuff, I've tried to mention The French Connection anytime I get. When I watched that for the first time this year, it became one of those movies where it just becomes your personality trait for a while. Okay, so you have genres, countries, and languages. Unsurprisingly, American movies dominate the industry, at least from what I'm aware of. In terms of my awareness of movies, it's primarily from the US, primarily in English. Drama films, action, comedy. I think it does go to a little more detail in the nano genres right here. But let's talk about the countries. Okay, Japan is next with 31 movies. Hong Kong, martial art movies. Only 6 mainland China movies. So yeah, I'm thinking that's also going to be martial art movies, and then the exception of Black Dog. My favorite genres: drama, action, comedy. Not a surprise. That's just how I like my movies. Languages: English, Japanese, Cantonese, Chinese. No surprise. Vietnamese is on the board with 4. I'm gonna get that higher. That's my goal, to get that a little bit higher next year, maybe by a few more films, but we'll see. I did take the time to try to watch more movies in different languages, not in the English language, and also outside of Asia too. I mean, as you can see right here, I did a little bit of that with a few Swedish movies, a few German movies, a few French movies, but I'm going to try to get a little bit higher. I don't expect this order or the languages on this board to really change that much, but I want to get the numbers at least a little bit higher. I have a decent amount of international films on my watch list, so hopefully we can see that change. Let's see what's highest rated. So my highest rated consistently is animation, because animation's awesome. I guess I love my sci-fi stuff. I love my history stuff. Australia it seems to be pretty killing it right now. Okay. For Lego Batman movie counts as Australian movie. So the Fall Guy, that's pretty interesting. Okay, well, there you have it. Australia killed it. Consistent track record. Let's see what else. Okay, yeah. Japanese language movies was my highest average. Shouldn't be surprised. Okay, we got anime movies. Yeah, Japan. Look at that, Japan. Unsurprisingly, killing it. Look at all these really good movies right over here. All right, cool. Let's get on with it to themes and nano genres. I'm not surprised that humanity and the world around us is the biggest nano genre. That's probably one of the most common ones that I see the most when other people do these. It is pretty broad. I think that is what movies are meant to portray in some shape or form, the way that movies foster empathy and build empathy in people is by portraying humanity in the world around us. So that results in a pretty broad nano genre that consists of a lot of these movies. And yeah, any of these movies in certain regards is under that nano genre. But like I said, it's surprisingly broad for being a nano genre. Oh, excuse me, that's a theme. Okay, not a theme. It's this is themes. Okay. So these are the nano genres right here. Now, unsurprisingly, my favorite nano genres are fighting, cool, and killing. And it's pretty much like that for the next 4 nano genres. We all know this is going to be martial art movies, Crippled Avengers, a recent rewatch, A Diagram Pull Fighter. Okay. Martial art movies for the most part, unsurprising. I think that would be in the other nano genre right here: action, epic emotion. Okay, slightly different. Action doesn't necessarily have to mean fighting, and that applies to Haikyuu. Okay, all right, very interesting. So next up, we have the breakdown. All right, let's look at the numbers of the 177 movies that I logged in 2024. 18% of them were premieres from this year, whereas 81% were older. So I'm a little conflicted on this number because, as I said, I'm in this mood of discovery where I just want to go back and just catch up on all the things that I miss. You know, all the tours and the big films of the past. You know, before I was born, before my parents were born, and things like that. And you know, you get one life, so you want to try to experience as much as possible. So this is definitely intentional. But I also feel like it could be a little. I should be watching the movies that's coming at me because you know if I'm too focused looking back, I'm gonna miss on the present. In my opinion, there are a lot of great movies this year. So I mean, 33 is not bad as far as the number goes, but 18%. Maybe I'll bump it up to 20% next year. Don't know if I'm going to reach exactly 177 movies. Could be more, could be less. But let's hope for 20%. I'll go for that. Watches versus rewatches, about just over a quarter of what I watched in 2024 were rewatches, and I think that's good. 47 out of 177 movies, I think that's pretty good. That means just like almost once a week I was rewatching a movie. And I think that's good because for this number to be so big of me just watching new movies, I also need to remember about the movies that made me fall in love with this art form. So as much as I want to discover films, it's okay to like relax and just rewatch the ones that make me happy. You know, because if I get one life, sure, there's a lot of movies that I want to experience, but if I have one life, why not continue to re-experience the films that I already know that I love? So I think that this is pretty good. 26% is also a little bit more than I thought. I figured it would be less than a quarter, but yeah, 73% first time watches, 26% rewatches. I like that. Okay, here we go. Reviewed versus not reviewed. I had 68. Oh, I'm I might have been 1 or 2 movies away from a legendary number right here, a legendary stat. But either way, close to 69% movies reviewed and 31% not reviewed. I mean, if I don't have anything to say, let's not say anything about it. I think that in this age, in the modern time of Letterboxd, there are people who are so critical about Letterboxd because all they see is that when it comes to the modern culture, the Letterboxd reviews are just boiled down to who can make the funniest joke, who can see the movie as soon as possible, take one trend or one thing that happened and turn it into a meme and get the most liked comment for that Letterboxd or for that movie on Letterboxd. And in my case, I don't really care. I think that's all fine. I can find in-depth reviews when I want to, and I can find comedic reviews whenever I want to. Just speaking on behalf of myself and myself only, I'm not going to get too caught up in trying to say something funny or trying to say something of substance if I don't have anything to say. So this is an interesting one. I watched 74 movies on my watch list and I added 63. So I'm a big watch list attacker. It's just how I pace myself or organize the movies that I watch. I'm not necessarily selective of the movies that I put on my watch list, but I'm intentional. I'm deliberate, meaning that if it's on my watch list, I do plan on getting around to it eventually, sooner rather than later. If there's a movie that I'm not really too interested in, or it's on my watch list for a long time and I never get around to it, I take it out of my watch list. I'm deliberately attacking it. And maybe some would say that's a narrow way of watching movies and like, hey, just like open up a little bit. In my case, it my deliberate intention of how I pick movies and making sure I'm getting variety, making sure I'm getting directors and filmmakers that I like. Being deliberate about it keeps me from being burnt out, right? Either burning out or keeps me from having those days where I just don't know what to watch. So that's why. And then I added 63. I keep it, within like 100, within 100. So yeah. Okay, next up, so trends. So my most watched cast of actors. In this case, it's just all actors, no actresses on here. Yikes! I better work on that. Jet Li, unsurprisingly, is number one. I mean, I said it before and I'll say it again. Jet Li been in a lot of great fucking movies. A lot of great movies. I mean, 1993 alone, as I mentioned in my martial arts video, 1993 alone is a banger. Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorite actors. Yun Bao, I have not watched as much. Oh, let it load. I did not watch as much growing up, and this year was definitely a Yun Bao year. Actually, he's tied for first, which include Once Upon a Time in China, Righting Wrongs, Hand of Death. I forgot he was in that. Winners and Sinners and The Victim. Yeah, I mean, these are all like this is a great track record for the year. Out there, let's get some more actresses in there. All right, let's watch some more movies with women-led movies. All right, that's a note to myself. Let's work on that. But unsurprisingly, a majority of my most watched actors are going to be from martial art movies in some shape or form, and of course the essentials like Robert De Niro, one of my all-time favorites, and Willem Dafoe had a pretty good year too. Wasn't he the most watched person overall too, for everybody else for the Letterboxd review? I believe so. Okay, but for the most part, martial arts actors, not surprised. Sammo Hung, I'm gonna get that number even higher next year, hopefully. Um, Frances McDormand, yeah, she's definitely one of my favorite actresses. Um, yeah, Raising Arizona. I forgot she was in Dark Moon. She's great and everything. I should watch more from her. Nomadland. I'm gonna check that out next year, hopefully, and I'll talk more about that later. Okay. Directors. Let's talk directors. Okay. Let's take a look at the names. Let's take it all in. None of these are surprises. If you know me, this is pretty much all to be expected. If these directors aren't in my top 5 of all time, they're my top 10. If they're not my top 10, each of these individuals are my top 15. So yeah, Martin Scorsese was 6. We got 3 rewatches in there, and I also watched 3 movies for the first time from Scorsese. Spielberg is definitely going to be up there, unsurprisingly. Yeah, Raiders, Color Purple, amazing movie. Temple of Doom, as always, and Catch Me If You Can. Okay, yeah. I mean, these aren't surprises. I think this year in particular, I'm like really realizing how great of a director Corey Yun is. I mean, I guess I didn't recognize till recently that he directed a lot of Jet Li led movies, including Fong Sai-yuk and then Yun Bao collaborations, Righting Wrongs. I think he's got a lot in store for me this year. Maybe by the end of this year, we might see him make top 10 all time for me. Of course, Akira Kurosawa. I watched Stray Dog as of this recording, literally today. Lau Kar-leung, the best martial artist stuntman turned director. Joel Cohen, I love the Coens. Hitchcock, Shang-Chi, Nolan, Korean. No surprises here. Yeah. Edward Yang, Billy Wilder, Ingmar Bergman, who I really found a stride with this year. David Lean, who I've also been falling in love with too, as far as his films go. Junta Yamaguchi, who I said before is my favorite new director of this decade. So yeah. But now, as you look at this list, let's get the elephant in our room. No women on here. This is unacceptable. I gotta work on this. I am going to be watching more films directed by women in 2025. Okay, so this is kind of like a subsidiary watch list that I've been making. This is what we're gonna focus on right here. The movies directed by women. So I've kind of started to compile a list. Here are just some of them that I hopefully will get around to next year. Like I said, Boat People by An Mui. Mikey and Nikki, so a Lane May film, also with the Heartbreak Kid. I want to watch some Agnes Varda films, such as Vagabond, and I believe one other one on this list. Cleo from 5 to 7, The Company of Strangers. Like, these are movies directed by women that I want to check out. I'm going to be more deliberate about watching more women filmmakers, and also Jane Campion, Catherine Bigelow, just to name a few other ones that are out there. I don't have to look that hard, so let me take the effort to really to discover women directors, because as far as women filmmakers go, they are very underrepresented. Okay, my most liked review and my most liked list. So my most liked review was when I reached my 1400th movie, which will be broken now to 1500 within the next few days. I put for Godzilla, Kong, the New Empire. Godzilla performs a suplex worth the price of admission. I believe it's got like 6 likes. That's about it, to be honest. Nothing crazy. Oh wow, I got a lot right here. Okay, maybe at most 5 or 6 likes. I'm not super popular, unsurprisingly. And then my most liked list with 1 like. All right, quick flicks. Check this list out if you're interested. So 45 movies that to check out that are, like I said, like under 2 hours, under 100 minutes. I love all of these. So if you're interested, there's a bunch of recommendations. Highest average, lowest average. So my highest average movie that I watched was 12 Angry Men. Rewatched that with my cousin. Lowest average, unsurprisingly, Madam Web. This is probably going to be on a lot of people's lowest average. Most popular movie I watched was Interstellar. Most obscure was a short called Something Between Us. The most recent movie that I watched was Nosferatu, and the oldest was The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. Now, if I had not watched The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I think the next oldest would have been Nosferatu. So wouldn't that have been awesome if the newest movie that I watched was Edgar's Nosferatu, and the oldest was Murnau's? That would have been really cool. Longest, Lawrence of Arabia. It's a fantastic, phenomenal movie. Check it out if you haven't yet. And the shortest was a short called Check Please, a great independent short made. It's a martial arts short, so that's pretty cool. Okay, rated higher than average, we got Transformers Dark of the Moon with an average of 2.64 that I rated 5 stars. Okay, look, I don't need to defend it. I know that this movie isn't hot with everybody, but I fucking love Transformers, and this is the best Transformers movie. Let's be real. Shaolin Temple, I think this is one of Jet Li's best movies. This is, as you know, top 10, top 15 martial art movies of all time for me. There's 3 Jet Li movies here. What is with this low average? I mean, Jet Li is literally tied with my most watched actor this year. He's been in great movies. All of these are 5-star martial art movies, all so fun and great action in their own right. Man, a little disappointed, Letterboxd community. I'm a little disappointed. Temple of Doom, okay, I get it. A decent amount of people's favorite, but also it's a lot of people's like least favorite or bottom 3 as far as Indiana Jones movies go. I'm not really too surprised. And then Junji Yamaguchi's River is only at a 3.7. I mean, I don't need it to be at a 4.0, 4.3 or anything, but this is such a fun and fresh movie. If you like creative ideas, independent films, low budget films where they really stretch the dollar, I mean, River is just such an awesome movie. I am a little disappointed this low score. And now get your pitchforks ready. Here we have the rated lower than average, 8.5. I notoriously am not as much into it. Sweet Smell Success, I think is a decent movie, but I thought it was pretty boring. Vertigo, I mean, we all know my arc with that movie. Monsieur Holid's Holiday, I've been kind of preparing to watch Playtime this year, which is considered one of the greatest French films of all time, and some fans have suggested that I watch the previous 2 Mr. Hulit films, Monsieur Holid's Holiday as well as Mon Oncle. Hopefully I pronounced that right. This was all right. I still have high hopes for Playtime. I'm still open to enjoying it. If any of these make you want to rage a pitchfork, go ahead in the comments. We'll have a discussion. And these are all the films I watched in 2024. It's kind of cool to see it all like laid out right here. Okay, world map. Okay, Canada. I had 4 movies. Oh, okay. USA 88. Okay, what's Senegal? Excuse me. Oh, this was Black Girl. Oh, that's right. Yes, it is it's a Senegal movie. Okay. A little surprise there. Argentina. What was Argentina? Furiosa? happy together. I don't know why I said Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy is Argentinian. That's why I thought of it. Anyways, Russia with 2. Okay. China 6. Kazakhstan. That's probably Steppenwolf. Australia 4. New Zealand 1. What was New Zealand? The Wiggles. I thought that would be Australian right here. I guess Australia, New Zealand. All right. Asia, surprisingly pretty populated. We got a lot of Japan right here. A couple Indian films. That's probably Superboys and Malagone, and probably The Short. Something between us. Oh, Life of Pi. That's right. Yeah, I did watch that this year. Let's see what else. Iran. That's probably Abbas Kiarostami. Yep, Close Up. Right there. Great film, by the way. Oh my goodness. Amazing movie. France 14, Germany 9, Poland, Finland 2, Russia 2, Japan. Let's see. Really small over there. Taiwan, Philippines 2, Vietnam 3. Okay. Pretty interesting. World map. There you have it. So the highly rated movies that I'm yet to see. So the ones that I really want to see the most mentioned on here, that I want to get around to, is How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies. Chances are you know this if you saw my top films of 2024 video. And you can check that out right here. Sing Sing I do want to check out, but it's not playing in much theaters. And Wild Robot seems pretty interesting too. Also Flow. I want to see Flow. So that is my Letterboxd Wrapped. I definitely learned a lot. I saw things that I expected, things that I'm happy with, but I'm also even more aware now of what I need to work on. That's my 2024 Letterboxd Wrapped, my year in review. Go ahead and share with me your stats on Letterboxd Wrapped. Go ahead and follow me on Letterboxd. Link is going to be in the description. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for another great year of YouTube and potentially more movie videos. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you all later.